4 marks questions from the chapter Respiration. Let us go into the questions. The first question, look at the picture and answer the following question. There is a picture given followed by some questions. We have to answer those questions. Let us see the questions. The first question is, what does this diagram represent? This diagram represents the gaseous exchange at alveoli. We should not write just alveoli or blood capillary, alveoli surrounded by blood capillary. So that will not be the proper answer. This diagram represents especially the gaseous exchange at alveoli. The next one is, name the parts which are indicated as X and Y. In this diagram, the part which is indicated as X is alveoli, whereas the part which is indicated as Y is blood capillary. The next question, explain the mechanism that takes place in this picture. It refers that we need to explain the gaseous exchange that takes place in alveoli. First one, the gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli, which are tiny sacs in the lungs with one-celled thickness of walls. They are surrounded by capillaries, blood capillaries that are also one-celled thickness. Gaseous exchange takes place between the alveoli and the blood in the blood capillaries so as to absorb oxygen into the blood and release carbon dioxide into the alveoli sac. So this is the mechanism that happens in alveoli. Let us go to the next question. What are the differences between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration? Let us draw a table with aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration occurs in the absence of oxygen. The end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide and water molecule, whereas in anaerobic respiration, the end products are ethanol and carbon dioxide. You can also write lactic acid in the place of ethanol too. So, the end products of anaerobic respiration includes ethanol or lactic acid along with carbon dioxide. Next one is, aerobic respiration occurs in the cytoplasm and mitochondria, whereas anaerobic respiration occurs only in cytoplasm. Next point is, aerobic respiration involves 3 stages: glycolysis, Krebs cycle and electron transport system, whereas anaerobic respiration involves only glycolysis. And in aerobic respiration, more energy is released, whereas in anaerobic respiration, less energy is released. Let us see the next question. What are the differences between photosynthesis and respiration? Again, let us draw a table with photosynthesis and respiration. The first point is, photosynthesis takes place in green plants, whereas respiration takes place in all the living organisms, including the green plants, animals, everything. Photosynthesis is an anabolic process, whereas respiration is a catabolic process. Anabolic process refers to the construction of a molecule, whereas respiration is a catabolic process which refers that a substance is oxidized or decomposed into the inorganic molecules. A organic molecule is decomposed into the inorganic molecule. That is catabolic process. The photosynthesis takes place in chloroplast, whereas respiration takes place in cytoplasm and mitochondria. Otherwise, you can also write that chloroplast is involved in photosynthesis, the cell organelle which is involved in respiration is mitochondria. In photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used or utilized and oxygen is released. Whereas in reverse, respiration uses oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. Solar energy is trapped in photosynthesis, whereas energy is released from the food or glucose molecule. The photosynthesis occurs in the sunlight or in the presence of light, but respiration occurs all the time. Photosynthesis involves photolysis of water, but respiration does not involve any photolysis reaction. In photosynthesis, glucose is synthesized, whereas glucose is oxidized and energy is released in respiration. These are some of the differences between photosynthesis and respiration. Let us see the next question. Look at the diagram and answer the following question. This question is based on an experiment. Let us go into the questions. What is the aim of this experiment? The aim of this experiment is to prove the anaerobic respiration. The next question, what are the materials required for this experiment? You can just look at the diagram and write a bottle, test tube, L-shaped glass tubes, glucose solution, yeast, Dyson green, liquid paraffin wax, lime water, thermometer and rubber corks. Let us go to the next question. Why the glucose solution is boiled prior to the experiment? Because the glucose solution needs the absence of oxygen. To remove the dissolved oxygen from the solution, it has to be boiled and cooled without shaking. Next question. Why do we pour liquid paraffin wax on the surface of yeast and glucose solution? Because even if we boil the glucose solution, to remove the oxygen, there may be air present inside the bottle. So the air may again dissolve into the glucose solution. So to prevent the dissolution of oxygen into the glucose solution, we need to pour the paraffin wax on the surface of glucose solution. Next question. Why do we use Dyson green solution in this experiment? So even prior to the experiment, we need to again ensure about the presence of oxygen. So the Dyson green solution is poured on the glucose solution to test the presence of oxygen. It is a blue colored dye. It turns pink when the oxygen is in short supply, which is around it, which is a negligible amount. The next question, what changes are observed by the end of this experiment? So especially the lime water in the test tube turns milky white and there is temperature rise in the thermometer. The next question, how do you confirm the release of carbon dioxide? Yes, the lime water gets milky white. So the gas released from the glucose and yeast solution enters the test tube and makes it milky white. Let us go to the next question. Look at the diagram and answer the following question. So the first question is, what is the aim of this experiment? The aim of this experiment is to prove that carbon dioxide is released during the respiration in sprouted seeds. Here the sprouted seeds have been taken to represent the plants. Next question. Why should we take only sprouted seeds in this experiment? The dry seeds cannot respire or respire at very minimum rate, which is negligible. But the sprouted seeds respire vigorously and we can get the perfect result. So we have to take sprouted seeds. And there is one more answer. Even if the well-grown plant, when compared to the well-grown plant, the sprouted seeds vigorously respire. If you take the sprouted seeds, we can get the result very easily. The next question. What is the solution taken in the beaker inside the jar? So it is the lime water taken in the beaker. The next question. Write your observations during this experiment. So when we observe, after 2 days, the lime water turns milky white. The next question. What inference can you make from this experiment? The gas released during respiration in sprouted seeds turn the lime water into milky white. So it is concluded that carbon dioxide is released from the sprouted seeds. Let us go to the next question. What are the differences between respiration and combustion? Again, let us have a table with the respiration and combustion. Oxidation process that occurs in living organisms is called as respiration, whereas oxidation that occurs in non-living things like burning coal or any other thing is known as combustion. Energy in respiration, energy is released in different stages like glycolysis, Krebs cycle. So the energy is released in slots, but in combustion the energy is released at a time. In respiration, energy is not required prior to the process, whereas in combustion, energy is required prior to begin the process. In respiration, many intermediary compounds are formed, whereas in combustion, no intermediary compounds are formed. In respiration, energy is preserved in the form of ATP and some amount of energy is released in the form of heat, whereas all the energy is released in the form of heat in combustion.